Okay, so in this video, we're going to be talking about metric to US customary system, or USCS, conversions. And of course, the goal is if we're given a unit in one system, we want to be able to convert to another system. And we're going to do that by using the conversion factors that are expressed in the table on the following slide. So conversions between the US customary system and the metric system are done using dimensional analysis. Whoa, the pen took off on me there. Okay, using dimensional analysis. And you can use this table for the examples we're going to do in this video, as well as for other things done in this class. So it might be good to pause the video here, print out this table, or have another table similar that's next to you. So as we go through these examples, you can use the table as a guide. Okay, so let's do a few examples to see how we'll do this. Again, we're familiar with dimensional analysis already, so this shouldn't be too hard. We just now have these new conversion factors to deal with, these new per expressions. Okay, so here's the example that we're going to start with. How many milliliters are in 1.0 quarts? Well, again, we're going to do this using dimensional analysis. So we're given 1.0 quarts, and we want milliliters, right? So our per expressions, this is a little bit more complicated in this example. In that table, there's not a conversion between quarts and milliliters, but I do know a conversion between quarts and gallons. And we'll see why that's important in a second. So there's 1 gallon for every 4 quarts, okay? And that's important because there are exactly 3.7854 liters for every 1 gallon. Oh, okay, it doesn't want that there. Let's try that one more time. Nope, it's doing that thing again where it doesn't like me. Gallons, there we go. And if you're confused of where I got that, that's coming right from here, 3.7854. There's more digits, but just ignore them at that point, liters. And here's that 1 gallon to a quart. Okay, so back to the example. We know that there's also 1,000 milliliters per 1 liter because of that little prefix, milli. Okay, so the path we're going to take is we're going to go 1.0 quarts to gallons to liters to milliliters. So let's express this as an equation. So 1.0 quarts times every 1 gallon, 4 quarts, 3.7854 liters, 1 gallon, times for every 1,000 milliliters, 1 liter. Okay, and notice our units cancel all over. Quarts cancels with quarts, gallons with gallons, liters with liters. I'm left with milliliters. Okay, so why don't you plug that in your calculator and see what you get. I'm going to do that myself. So I get 946.35 milliliters. Okay, well, is this correct? Because remember, we still have to express our numbers using the correct amount of significant figures. Okay, so is this correct? No, all right, not quite yet. So let's get again in the habit of expressing this number in scientific notation. So when I do that, I express it in as 9.4635 times 10 to the 2 milliliters. Okay. And how many significant figures can this number have? Well, go back to our rule for multiplication and division. It's the smallest number of significant figures of any factor. In other words, we started with 1 quart that has 2 sig figs. Okay. The other conversion factors are exact. They're fixed by definition, so we don't count them for significant figures. So that means my answer can only have 2 sig figs. So this is the answer. So I'm going to get rid of these guys, and the first digit to be dropped is greater than 5. So I'm going to round this up as 9.5 times 10 to the second milliliters. Okay, so correct. All right, so that's the correct number of sig figs for the answer, okay? 2 sig figs. So why don't you just take a look at this example again, if you're confused, and see how we came to that example. Okay, so let's do one more example. What is the length, in meters of an object that is 59 inches long? Okay, so let me just turn the page here. Well, same idea. Let's do it together. So given, actually, why don't you pause the video and try to do it yourself and then come back. I'm going to keep writing though. So given 59.1 inches, I want meters. Okay, my path, or my per expression, I should say. Well, I know that for every 2.54 centimeters, there's 1 inch. And for every 100 centimeters, there's 1 meter. Okay, so my path, okay, is 59.1 inches to centimeters to meters. Okay, so changing colors, let's write this out. And I'll just say this before I even start. This has 3 sig figs. So my answer can only have 3 sig figs. Okay, so let's do this, knowing that our answer can only have 3 significant figures: 1 inch, 2.54 centimeters, 100 centimeters, 1 meter. Okay, you put that in your calculator, you get 1.50114 meters. Okay, let me just double check that again. That seems right to me, but let me just look at that again. 2.54 divided by 100. Yep, that's what I get. And again, our answer can only have 3 significant figures. So that means this needs to be 1.50 meters. Okay, that's the correct answer expressed with the correct amount of significant figures. So significant figures are important in all the calculations we're going to be doing from here on out. Use significant figures, okay? It's not going to go away this whole class. So that's why we spent a lot of time on that section. Okay, do I have one more example in here? I do. The mass of the glass beaker is 110,222 milligrams. Express this mass in ounces. So once again, pause the video, see if you could do this problem, and then we'll do it together. Okay, so let's do it together. So we're given milligrams. And I'll just write this now since I think we're getting familiar with it. This has 6 sig figs. Okay. So I want ounces. Okay, so my per expressions. So what can I do here? Well, I know I can convert milligrams to grams. For every 1 gram, there's 1,000 milligrams. Again, that prefix milli from the, actually a few videos back now. So you can review that if you're unsure about this. Okay. And then I know for every 1 pound, okay, there's 453.59 grams. Just looking at that table, I'm just trying to convert to things that I know and that are on the table to try to get from one place to another. It's like a path we're taking, right? And then I know that there's 16 ounces. Oh, excuse me. 16 ounces for 1 pound. Okay, because the path I'm taking, I want to go from milligrams to grams to pounds to ounces. Okay, so let's switch colors. Let's write this out as an equation. You're probably way ahead of me. You've already written this. Well, whoops. The B there went away. That looks like an 11 pounds. There we go. Okay. So let's put this in our calculator. What do we get? Well, I get 3.8880927 ounces. All right, let me just check that one more time in my calculator, just to make sure. 110,225 divided by 1,000 divided by 453.59 times 16. Yep, that is what I get. And this answer can only have 6 significant figures. Okay, so this needs to be rounded. 3.88809 ounces. That is 6 figs. Okay, so that's 3 examples of converting between the USCS and metric systems. And again, we're just trying to convert using that table that we have to quantities that we know. And it'll become easier as you do more examples to kind of know the conversions and be more familiar with the table. All right, so in the next section, looking ahead, we're going to be talking about temperature and temperature conversions. So see you there.